The final just had its brand new update 4.6. We'll go over all the new details, the balance patches and changes. Additionally, there's some new movement tech to go over, which also leads us to cover some stuff from the community. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? It's Utopia back here with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so first up, as always, we'll get into the opening statements. Where, of course, as usual, we do have Oscar's opening statement, where he goes on to say, Update 4.6 is obviously live. It's the halftime in the arena, and they bid their second sponsor, Whole Toll Farewell. We're now there introducing Isolt, that's next in line, and has some big shoes to fill following last week's Trick or Treat event. Of course, they said don't forget to keep spinning the wheel, and the ticket drops end on the 13th, but the event will stay live until the 15th, giving you time to spend your tickets and pick up the last few items in peace. This week, they'll be bringing you some balance changes. I'm going to go over all those in the patch notes, which actually does cover us for both Oscar's statement as well as the patch notes side of things. They do actually mirror each other directly, so we don't have any new information with the patch notes, which of course, moving on to those, we have the first section here being the balance changes, where we're seeing another major nerf for the healing beam. Now what they did here is they decreased the max target distance from 12 meters to 10 meters, and they decreased the max healing distance from 15 to 13, but they also decreased the time before we disconnect a blocked healing beam. That went from 1 second to 0.75 seconds. There was a dev note here that goes over that and explains it in more detail. They say here they felt the existing range of the healing beam caused problems with teams to benefit from healing in combat without the associated risk of being in close proximity. They feel with this closer range they've opened up more opportunities to counterplay teams that are healing in combat via various gadgets. They said whenever they can, they prefer to try and solve possible balance issues via counterplays rather than straight up nerfs. And I think this change has an opportunity here, but as always, they'll monitor the impact of the change and adjust as needed. As you'll see, so the initial targeting range when you first click on somebody and lock onto them, that was obviously nerfed there, so you'll need to be closer to initiate that. However, because there's still a max healing distance there and what is larger than the max target range, you can back up from 10 meters to 13 meters and still be healing your teammate, so you will just have to be closer to initiate that. We also saw here the Pike 556 get its damage decreased from 52 to 47, and they increased the damage fall-off multiplier at a max range from 75% to 85%, increasing the damage at longer range. Or again, with the dev note here, they felt the 556 still remained too strong in close-range encounters. Despite the previous damage adjustments with these damage changes, they want to make the weapon less effective at closer ranges while maintaining its effectiveness at longer range. We also saw the Pyro Grenade here get a change, which will now deal damage to shields such as Dome Shield and Mesh Shield. So even less of a reason now to take a Glitch Grenade when you can just use Pyro, which will actually do damage to that, as they're really trying to knock down those Dome Shield and Mesh Shields and just shield play, it seems like. We also saw the sword get a slight change here and a nerf, where they decreased the lunge duration of the secondary attack from 0.4 to 0.3 seconds. But that's going to result in a 1 meter reduction in distance roughly from 7 to 6. So you won't get those far lunge reaches, but it's not by much. And they also decreased the length of the secondary attack's hit sweep by 55 centimeters. Which the dev note here does showcase what that actually will look like, where they say that the changes should decrease the effective range of the lunge by 1.5 meters, hopefully making this sword less oppressive for players facing it. Moving on from our balance changes, we had some key fixes here that I'll go over quickly. We had a bunch of different animation fixes here, like the Tripwire Tango emote. They updated the player card for that. Winchclaw got an animation that would not play while firing your main weapon. They fixed an issue with throwing knives where the player's arms could end up in a locked state after using a secondary attack. They made adjustments to how sprint animations are triggered with the 50 akimbos, where previously when pressing the assigned sprint button, the animations would re-trigger, making the experience feel a bit clunky. Should smoothen that out now. And last up here, they also fixed an issue with the faulty movement state when detaching from a broken ladder in practice range. Audio got several changes here where they improved June's delivery lines and respawn lines. They added more line variations when new vaults spawn 1 minute left and 30 seconds left. They fixed an issue in Treasure Hunt introduction video that had wrong audio file and incorrect subtitles, and an issue that could cause commentators to mention it was a first wipe when the second team wipe of a match happened. We did see this one here. Players can no longer progress healing based contracts by restoring teammates' health that was lost due to self-damage. Obviously some boosting issues there. And that same one did apply to the revive based contracts. Also, eliminations caused by throwables were not granting combat score. Another major issue fixed there. Customizations got a bunch of clipping issues and a ton of things with the experiencing of player cards equipment stuff that was in the store bundles. certain headwear wasn't being displayed on characters at a distance, and they even added the leaderboard to the Orf backpack in-game, which is now visible on the backpack. So some changes there and fixes overall. For game modes, they fixed an issue with outline colors on contestants. The prompt for being revived could get stuck on screen, and cash boxes didn't get deposited if you were eliminated before you hit the cash out station. That is, if you threw that cash box. And they improved the movement of the flying saucers in Alien Invasion game show event, which in some of my playthroughs and even footage, I did see flying saucers actually kind of clip into the buildings. So for their behavior patterns are a little bit fixed there with some of the maps. Kyoto again got some updates here with improved collisions, some small tweaks overall, and some reduced and consolidated the amount of exposed objectives that pertain to the Villa Compound Garden. Practice range, they reintroduced the suspended barrel bags. Seoul also got some fixes here for walkways, ladders, and several railings. They fixed an issue where cobwebs on some maps could block interactions, mainly pertaining to the Halloween-themed maps. We got some major adjustments for performance and stability, where they did add in TSR as a new resolution scaling method in video settings, and there was a major issue causing severe performance degradation on the Xbox Series S. That has now been fixed. The UI had several fixes here to end of round progression, several tutorial hints, as well as a new look for matchmaking widgets. Under the weapon section for fixes, we actually had a decent change here for riot shields, which would catch on fire. That could no longer happen. For melee attacks, overall they fixed some audio and third-person visuals where the effects of the melee attack would be delayed. That does cover it for the patch notes side of things, although of course we did have a store update where we're seeing 3 new bundles, the Lone Operator set. We have 2 additional weapon skins here, the Whole Toe Insurance set, which finally the Flamethrower is getting a skin after some time, and last up here the Alurisma set, which is a color-changing metallic set, and looks really cool overall. It has a lot of weapons in this pack. Moving on here though, we have some stuff from the community, where we did actually see some new movement tech. Now I'm not exactly sure on the founder of this. There's been a couple videos posted. I'll link down to 2 of those that are really good. One does seem like here, which is more pertained to console players and controller players. That was done by Truce. And there's another one here pertaining mostly to PC players, at least in my opinion, and that is done by Hug My Cat. So depending on what platform you're on, I would head to either of those videos for this new jump tech. I do showcase that tech here where essentially you do place the pad down to the jump pad, you crouch, you pick up the pad, and you uncrouch kind of at the same time, or at least at the end of that, where you can then pick up the jump pad as you actually use it. Some decent movement tech there, and it actually can play out well. Moving on to the Reddit here though, we did have another post where someone asks here they want to use their VRs to buy tickets. I've had several comments about this asking if they're able to buy tickets with VRs. It would be nice if they maybe added an option to at least buy a couple or maybe even 1 or 2. Sure, they'd probably have to limit it overall, seeing as they kind of want to have some incentive to pay for things, which does make sense overall for the event. However, like I said, I've had several comments on it. Now this post here on the subreddit actually did blow up quite significantly. Maybe they add something, hopefully they do near the end of the event, but I think this could be a good idea, and it seems like the community really wants this. Of course, last up here we do have the skin showcase and the outfit showcases from my Discord. The Finals Runway is actually one of the most active chats that I have, so you can constantly get ideas there for new outfits. It's really cool to see. But we do have some brand new features over on the Star Models page. So first up here we have one from Fox Cool, who he showcases here. He tried making this character named Jack, which of course is featuring that jack-o'-lantern skin. He's got some really cool color combo here and a matching outfit, which I do think mirrors it very well, even if it's not the same color as the original character. Still really cool, and it fits the Halloween theme. We also have one here from Green Park, who says he tried to make a best outfit for Halloween featuring Dexter Morgan, which of course if you've seen the TV show, you would know this character. He actually does showcase 3 different outfits here from the series, and I think it mirrors it very well for each one, and he does kind of showcase how those mirror overall. That one's really cool overall, and again, it does match the Halloween season, so I figured I'd feature those 2. Again, really cool outfits for both of those guys. Overall though, it should about cover it. If you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.